Good day everyone, we are here once again to share the latest Philippine Airlines international flight schedules. Please note, Philippine Airlines would like to remind passengers to regularly check flight schedule updates and government websites of travelers' country of destination, as government-imposed travel and arrival restrictions may adjust or cancel flights. And on to the flight schedules. Manila to Los Angeles, 11 times a week daily, except on March 17 and 18, with 2 flights every Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays, effective March 1. Los Angeles to Manila, 10 times a week daily, except on March 17, with 2 flights every Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Los Angeles to Cebu, 2 times a week, every Wednesdays and Fridays, except on March 18. Manila to San Francisco and vice versa, daily. Manila to New York, 3 times a week, every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. New York to Manila, 3 times a week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Manila to Honolulu and vice versa, 2 times a week, every Tuesdays, and Fridays. Manila to Guam, 3 times a week until March 17, every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And 4 times a week starting March 19 every Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Guam to Manila, 3 times a week until March 18, every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And 4 times a week starting March 20. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Manila to Toronto and vice versa, once a week every Wednesdays. Manila to Vancouver and vice versa, 4 times a week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Manila to Auckland, with Brisbane stopover, March 6 and 20. Auckland to Manila, with Brisbane stopover, March 7 and 21. Manila to Brisbane, March 6 and 20. Brisbane to Manila, March 7 and 21. Manila to Melbourne, 2 times a week, every Fridays and Saturdays. Melbourne to Manila, 2 times a week every Saturdays and Sundays. Manila to Sydney, 3 times a week, every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Sydney to Manila, 3 times a week, every Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Manila to Port Moresby and vice versa, March 12 and 26. Manila to London Heathrow and vice versa, except on March 1, once a week until March 29. Manila to Singapore and vice versa, daily until March 14, and 2 times daily, starting March 15. Manila to Kuala Lumpur and vice versa, daily except on March 4. Manila to Hanoi and vice versa, once a week, every Thursdays. Manila to Ho Chi Minh City Saigon and vice versa, 4 times a week, every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Manila to Phnom Penh, once a week, every Fridays. Phnom Penh to Manila, once a week, every Saturdays. Manila to Jakarta, 4 times a week until March 14, every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and daily starting March 15. Jakarta to Manila, 4 times a week until March 14, every Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and daily starting March 15. Manila to Seoul Incheon and vice versa, 4 times a week starting March 9, every Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Manila to Bangkok and vice versa, daily except on March 5. Manila to Tokyo Haneda and vice versa, 5 times a week, every Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Manila to Tokyo Narita and vice versa, daily. Cebu to Tokyo Narita and vice versa, March 5 and 19. Manila to Fukuoka and vice versa, 4 times a week, every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Manila to Osaka Kansai and vice versa, daily. Manila to Nagoya and vice versa, 4 times a week, every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Manila to Hong Kong, 4 times a week starting April 21, every Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Hong Kong to Manila, 4 times a week starting on March 4th, except on March 9th, every Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Manila to Taipei and vice versa, 3 times a week except on March 4, every Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays. Manila to Dubai and vice versa, daily. Manila to Dammam and vice versa, 3 times a week, every Tuesdays, Fridays and Sundays. Manila to Riyadh and vice versa, 4 times a week, every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. Manila to Doha and vice versa, daily. Philippine Airlines would also like to remind all passengers to check their websites for new arrival and quarantine procedures for international passengers arriving in Manila, Cebu, Clark, Laoag, Subic and Davao. Please check link in description. Meanwhile, payments for RT-PCR tests, as well as hotel accommodation costs, shall be shouldered by the passenger. Except if said passenger is an OFW, as to which said costs shall be shouldered by OWA, for land-based, and Marina for sea-based OFWs. Passengers departing on Philippine Airlines international and domestic flights from Manila have the option to undergo RT-PCR and antigen testing at their Philippine Airlines Learning Center, located at 540 Padre Fora, corner Adriatico Street, Ermita, Manila. Drive-through and walk-in testing is at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, or at PAL Gate 3, located at Andrews Avenue, Pasay City. In-car walk-in service is 24 hours a day 7 days a week. Philippine Airlines would like to affirm that these testing facilities are in partnership with Detoxicare Molecular Diagnostics Laboratory, and that prices for their RT-PCR tests will be at a reasonable price of 2,599 pesos. Released within 24 hours, and 700 pesos for an antigen test, released within 30 minutes. Payment options are cash only, card or debit card, GCash, PayPal, WeChat Pay, and Alipay. Passengers also have the option of pre-paying their COVID test online. Please take note that Philippine Airlines is strictly implementing the Fly Safe new normal practices in compliance with international health and safety protocols, into which passengers are required to bring their own face masks and wear them at all times, at the airport and throughout their flight. Philippine Airlines would also like to encourage passengers to check in online or allocate extra time in arriving at the airport for the new safety procedures.